resources. We're so happy that you're joining us today. We're excited. We have so many amazing organizations that are vital resources for our moms who are expecting or for people who just became parents. Today we're going to talk about resources in the city, and we're going to talk about Medicaid and who qualifies for Medicaid. We have organizations like Crescent City Family Services or New Orleans Breastfeeding Center who are going to talk about their services. And I want to encourage everybody to, if you have any questions, put them on the chat. If you have any, if you'd like to share, please feel free to do that. We'd love that. And yeah, I'll pass it on to our dear Rachel now.
All right, well, as you heard from Edith, we have an amazing crew of ladies on this call. And so we are just so blessed to have everybody and this wealth of knowledge here. So I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining. And we're going to go ahead and start the call off with our friends. Excuse me one second, I'll get my presentations queued up from Crescent City Family Services. So we're joined tonight by Ms. Courtney Martin and Ms. Kathy Morris and Ms. Liz Schultes. So we're so blessed to have y'all here, and take it away.
All righty, so we can go ahead and go to our first title slide. My name is Liz Schultes. I'm the Operations Manager for Crescent City Family Services, and I am here to let you know a little bit more about our services, what we do here on the call. As Rachel said, we have Ms. Courtney Martin, who's our WIC Director. We also have Ms. Kathy Morris, who is our Program Manager for Healthy Start. So we'll go ahead and get started. As you can see the slide we have here, we have a picture of our President and CEO, Ms. Mary Schultes. Everything that we do here for Crescent City Family Services has really been cultivated by her from the beginning. So we're very, very thankful for everything that she's done for our organization. As you can see, our mission and our values are listed there. And one of our main things here at Crescent City Family Services is to treat all of our clients as if they are our family. We want to make sure that we're able to provide all the resources that they have here. And one of our main goals is to have a one-stop shop. So we actually have three elements that comprise Crescent City Family Services, that are our services itself, our community partners, and promoting food security. Next slide. Now I will switch it over to Ms. Courtney Martin, and she will go ahead and give you a brief overview about WIC services.
Hi, yes, I'm Courtney Martin, and I'll be telling everyone a little bit about WIC. So just the basics, WIC is a special supplemental nutrition program for women, infant, and children under the USDA, providing nutrition education, food, breastfeeding support, and health referrals for income women who are pregnant, postpartum, breastfeeding infants, and children up to age 5. Next slide. So when we think about who's eligible for WIC, we're going to look at several components. Are you categorically eligible, residentially, meet income requirements, and nutrition risk? So WIC actually stands for Women, Infant, and Children. So when we think about women, we're talking about pregnant women, postpartum moms. No matter the outcome, you're still eligible for WIC, as long as you meet all criteria. Also infants, we consider an infant up to their first birthday, and children from 1 to 5. And the main difference between each category will be what we provide to them as far as the supplemental food and education that we provide. If you are applying somewhere, you must be a resident of the state in which you're applying. So if you live here in Louisiana, you go to a site in Louisiana. It's not restricted by areas, so we can service anyone from Shreveport to Port Sulphur. So as long as you're a Louisiana resident, you can go where you would like. There also are income guidelines. One nice thing about WIC is we're talking about Medicaid. If you receive Medicaid, TANF, or SNAPs, you're adjunctively eligible. So for example, if you have a mom who just found out that she is pregnant and she receives Medicaid, yes, she is eligible for WIC. So it decreases that barrier of having to get that proof of income. Also, if you don't receive those services, there are many different forms of income that you can bring. Also, while you're here, our goal is to provide you with the supplemental foods, but we also provide education. This is how we're going to get the outcomes that we want, is we're going to provide you with continuous education tailored to yourself. So some of the things that we look at with WIC is height, weight, growth assessment, iron levels, and general health history. And while we may not be taking those measurements now so that we can safely social distance during this time, we still are providing education. So we do have health history questionnaires that we send to our clients so that we can tailor the education to you and better help you. And if we should need to refer you out to other services like our high-risk nutritionists, we have registered dietitians, we can. If you have breastfeeding needs, we have certified lactation counselors on board, and many, many other services that we can help link you to, whether it be on site or not. Next slide. So why do you want to be a part of WIC? What's so big? So it's important that we look at studies that are done, actual factual information. So we are reducing premature births, reducing low birth and very low birth weight babies, reducing fetal and infant deaths, reducing the incident of low iron and anemia, increasing access to prenatal care earlier in pregnancy, increasing our mommy's consumption of key nutrients such as iron, protein, calcium, vitamins A and C, increasing immunization rates, improving diet quality, and increased access to regular health care. These are a lot of wonderful programs and perks that you're going to get and benefits from WIC. Thank you so much. And Liz, you can take it from there.
Yes, thank you, Courtney, so much for that very, very good information on WIC. We hope that it kind of makes it a little bit more clear for those who are interested or wondering if they're able to receive WIC, and also what the positive outcomes for WIC are as well. So thank you for that. So we'll go on to the next platform that we have here at Crescent City Family Services, which is our Healthy Start program. So Healthy Start also focuses on the mom and baby, but encompasses the whole family, including dad. So I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of background information with Healthy Start. So Healthy Start is a case management program. And at one point in time, it was centered around home visitation. Because of COVID-19 right now, we are doing our home visits via Zoom. So that's how we're communicating with our clients. But it is case management, basically, where a case manager will meet a client, they will assess their needs, create a care plan to come out with a healthier birth outcome for mom, baby, and family. We also have a fatherhood program that is looped in with our Healthy Start program as well. To be eligible for our Healthy Start program, there are no income guidelines, but you do have to be a Jefferson Parish resident, and you also have to have a child that is, you can either be pregnant or have a child that's 18 months or younger. Next slide. Alrighty, so with Healthy Start, as I stated, there are some umbrellas under that. So we do have the case management, which is what I spoke with you about. We have our 504 Dads program. We also have a parent reward program, which is something that our clients absolutely love. So for everything positive that our client does, whether it is attending a doctor's appointment, making sure that their child has immunizations, safety proofing their home, just really anything positive to make sure that they're having a healthy pregnancy and, their child is having a healthy outcome as well, we give them points. And with those points, they're able to shop in what we call our Mall of Moms. So our Mall of Moms is a wonderful mall filled with anything baby related that you could possibly think of. Car seats, pack and plays, diapers, wipes, anything that you could possibly need for your baby. And all of these items are free to our clients as long as they're earning the points by doing the things to having a healthy and productive family. And last but not least, something that I hold very near and dear to my heart is our Community Action Network. So our Community Action Network is a coalition of community partners that come together and see what our common goals are. We want to see, are we all trying to get a certain number for Medicaid? Are we having certain benchmarks that we're each having to reach? And how can we do those things together? So United Healthcare is one of our partners. We also have Nurse Nikki on here as well, because we just share common goals and wanting to make sure that our moms are having great birth outcomes. They're reaching their nutrition needs, and really they have everything that they need. So our Community Action Network is built of wonderful partners. We have subcommittees that focus more directly on certain aspects and benchmarks that we're looking for, but it is open to any community partner, and it's also open to our clients. We have a patient advocacy program with our clients in which we really want to empower our clients to be able to go to these doctor's appointments and know the appropriate questions to ask and how to advocate for themselves. So yes, that's our community action network. And lastly, we have our supportive services. So these are some of the additional projects that we have here at Crescent City. So we have our diaper bank, which we give out free diapers every first Monday and Tuesday of each month. So our next one will be on February 1st and 2nd. The great thing about this, as Ms. Martin stated earlier on our call, is that there are no income eligibility. You don't have to be a WIC client. You don't have to be a Healthy Start participant. As long as you come with a valid ID, you will receive 50 diapers per caregiver. Next, we have our food pantry. So our food pantry is sponsored by Second Harvest and one of our community partners. We receive funds from Greater New Orleans Foundation and also Healthy Blue as well. And with that, you are to put in an application and a request on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays are our pickup days. We do Medicaid and food stamp application assistance, so we're able to actually help the client by appointment do these applications. We are giving out paper applications right now, and we're also doing Zoom appointments and phone calls in order to be able to allow our clients to have the access to fill out those applications. So we really want to make sure that we're closing the gap, that even though we're in this weird COVID time, if you still need assistance, we're able to help you via Zoom. And lastly, we have our community classes. Our two community classes that we have going on right now are Let's Talk About Tuesday with our nurse practitioner, Ms. Demetria Smith. And we also just got approved to do Centering for Pregnancy as well. Alrighty, so these are your point of contacts. We hope that we were able to give you, some good information. If you have any questions as far as our program, if you want to reach out to us, this is the information for all of our top people here. So we have Ms. Martin with WIC Services, Ms. Kathy Morris, who is our program manager with Healthy Start. Myself, I can assist you with anything via supportive services and the Community Action Network. And then I also listed the information for our fatherhood coordinator, Mr. Daryl Creasy. So his information is there as well. Are there any open questions? I don't know if anybody is putting any questions in the comments on Facebook Live, but myself, Ms. Kathy Morris and coordinator here to answer any questions if there are any.
And we will come back for more questions at the end of the full presentation too. But for any of y'all who are watching live, we're listening to you, we're here for you. So please post in the comments section and we will respond to you if we can live. And if not, definitely following up to this call.
Awesome. And these are just some ways to stay connected to us. We have our Instagram listed, our Facebook. If you are watching us Facebook Live, we're already connected there. We also have our website. We do currently have 2 locations, our main campus, which is 429 Wall Boulevard. And we also are located in the South Tower at West Jefferson Medical Center as well. I've listed our main office number and our fax number is 2. And then these are just some of our flyers with supportive services. So this lists all the services that I just spoke with you about today. Go to the next slide. This lists the information for our food pantry, basically how to make a request, and then also how to pick up. And then these are the upcoming days from January through June for our diaper bank.
All right, thank you so much, Crescent City Family Services. If you're watching live, check them out on Facebook if you're not already on their page. And now we're going to hear from Edith Romero, the Health Education Program Manager at Luke's House Clinic. So take it away, Edith.
Thank you so much, Rachel. So right now I'm going to talk a little bit about Medicaid and who can qualify for Medicaid. So if you are pregnant, you more than likely can qualify for Medicaid. And something that's really important is to know that even if you are undocumented or you have a different immigration status, you can qualify for Medicaid during your pregnancy from the start, from when that pregnancy was detected until you give birth. Also, another important point for everybody watching is that children who are born in the US are citizens and they have a right to Medicaid. It doesn't matter if their parents have another immigration status. As a children who was born in the US, you have a right to Medicaid. Sometimes also there can be children who qualify for LA chip, even if they were born outside the United States. And for more information, we recommend contacting the Louisiana Department of Health. As you can see, the phone number is right there. And usually if you're currently below the income threshold, you do qualify. I do believe that information is also on the Louisiana Department of Health website. Okay. Also, if you are an immigrant with pending U visa or the VAWA or going through an asylum process, you also may be able to get Medicaid. As we said, you can visit the Department of Health for information. I do believe they have lines in Spanish as well as in English. And we also recommend talking to an immigration attorney since each case is different. You do lose Medicaid right after pregnancy, but there are resources out there once that is over that you can use to get health services. And we're going to be talking about that later on, about UMC and community clinics and how to get financial assistance. And we'll revisit that later on. So for Medicaid, you'll need certain documents to apply. And really, these documents are usually the documents that you need for any type of program or assistance. So first of all, you need a government ID, passport or license. You will need a bill or letter in your name to prove address, usually like an energy bill or water and sewage bill works. As long as it has your name and your address, and usually they ask for a bill, sorry about that, a bill that is recent. You will also need proof of income. If you get pay stubs, they will need those pay stubs. Usually they ask for the last month of pay. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, you will need the last 2 pay stubs. You can also use a letter from your employer with your information, how much you get paid and how often and what kind of work you do. You can use a bank statement to prove income as well, or last year's taxes. You will also need birth certificates if you're applying for your kids. And another point that we really like to highlight is that we know that with the past administration, there was a lot of fear and misinformation about Medicaid and other government services, especially with the public charge rule. But we want to say that undocumented people can access emergency Medicaid when they're pregnant, or usually it can also apply when you're in a serious accident or a heart attack or like any type of medical emergency. The coverage ends as soon as the emergency is over. As we already mentioned, if your children are born in the US, they are citizens and they have a right to Medicaid. And their parents can apply for them, even if they have another immigration status. And there's absolutely no consequences. It says right there, if for a parent's immigration case, if they're applying for a US born citizen, and also those cases are completely different. The case for the child is completely different than the case for the parent. And also, if you need more information on the types of services that you can get, we also recommend consulting with a lawyer. We also want to make sure that everybody knows that ICE can never pursue anybody with information from their application for Medicaid. We do have HIPAA laws that are very strict and that protect your private information, and that can't be used or divulged.
All right, thank you so much, Edith. Great information, and we'll be hearing more from you and Luke's house later. So I'm just going to share really quickly about United Healthcare's community plan. I work with United Healthcare. So we are one of the 5 companies in Louisiana that offer Medicaid. Medicaid is a free health insurance offered by the government for people with low income. And you can see right here on the screen the income limits. And it doesn't matter if you lost your job last week, if your monthly income is below, $1,468 a month for yourself as an adult, or as you can see, it can be higher based on the number of children you have, you qualify. So all moms with this income level qualify, regardless of their immigration status, regardless of, their past income, because I know we're in a tough moment right now where, a lot of folks are being furloughed because of the pandemic, and everyone has a right to health care. So at United Healthcare, our community plan includes a lot of great benefits. You, of course, get unlimited free visits to the doctor, low-cost medications, free rides to and from appointments, which is a service some people might not be aware of, but it's a great service included with all Medicaid plans in Louisiana. And we have a lot of other benefits. You can get involved with Weight Watchers. You can telehealth with a nurse. So a lot of great services. We particularly have services for expecting moms and parents because we care about your health. So there are 3 that are based off of your phone that I just want to share about real quick. One is called Healthy First Steps. One is called Well Hop, and one is called Text for Baby. And actually, anyone who enrolls in United Healthcare, we have a program called Wellness Rewards, because we want you to go to the doctor, we want you to get checked up on, and we want you to be healthy. And so once you enroll with United Healthcare, if you go to the doctor within 90 days, you can get a $20 gift card, a $10 gift card for doing a health assessment, and a $20 gift card for your yearly wellness visit. And that's for you and your children who are on United Healthcare's community plan. We have another program because we want to make sure that you go to all of your prenatal and postpartum visits. And, we really want to make sure that the health of your child is top notch as well. So you will be mailed, if you're a United Healthcare member, information about our Healthy First Steps program. And you would just register on your phone when you go to the doctor. And when you sign up, you can either you can pick if you want a diaper bag or a $20 gift card. You can get a Fisher-Price block set when you go to the doctor for your postpartum visit. So as you can see here on the screen, there's a lot of great things that we will give you just for taking care of your health and taking charge of your child's health as well, including we give out free childproofing and lead screening kits. It's very important to make sure we're safe in our homes. So that's a great service. Another great program we have, you're going to hear about a lot of amazing community programs for moms and parents, on this call, but we have a virtual program called Well Hop, where you can just join via your phone and you'll get paired up with other expecting moms who are on their journey towards parenthood, just like you. And, you can share with them, what you're going through, and your experiences, and get feedback in real time from your phone. So I think that's a great tool with what we're all going through with the pandemic. And also we have a program called Text for Baby. You just shoot a text and you're going to get little reminders about you and your child's health periodically, which I think is so great because we're all super busy, especially moms. So that's a great program as well. And finally, I just want to give a shout out that at United Healthcare, we're looking to organize socially distant and virtual baby showers. So if you know of an organization, a church, a community group that would like to have a baby shower, please be in touch. So thank you all so much. And I'm going to hand the word over to Nurse Nikki. We are so honored to have her on the call today. And I'm going to go ahead and let her get her screen share set up. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Nikki Hunter Greenaway, probably better known as Nurse Nikki, and I'm joined by Ashley Hill. And we're going to co-present this together. I am a nurse practitioner and a lactation consultant and the owner and founder of Bloom Maternal Health, where we provide postpartum and women's health home visits and telehealth.
I'm sorry, I was muted. That happens way too frequently. I'm Ashley Hill Hamilton. I am the Director of Advocacy and Outreach with Birthmark Doula Collective in New Orleans Breastfeeding Center here in New Orleans. And I'm also a doula and lactation consultant.
All right, y'all, we're going to dive into supporting mamas, babies, families, and communities. And with all of this, we are trying to improve maternal health outcomes and decrease maternal health disparities. So let's talk about pregnancy. We get a lot of questions about pregnancy, and we just want to give you just some few little basics, some little gems and pearls that you can take with you as you go along your journey. So one of the things we get asked is, what should I eat? Now, normal caloric intake when you're not pregnant is between 1,800 and 2,000 calories. To put that in perspective for you, if you've ever been to Chipotle or any of these restaurants where they give you these huge burritos, that's about 1,800 calories. So there's your whole meal right there. But what are some things that pregnant folks should eat? Well, you should eat 300 additional calories in your meals, because we are supporting your body and we are supporting a growing baby. We want to maintain a healthy weight between 25 and 35 pounds of additional weight to your body. Now, obviously, some people have a little less. Maybe they have some nausea and vomiting at the beginning, or some people may have a little more, and that's cool. But at all these times, you're going back and you're checking in with your provider to make sure that it is healthy for you and everyone is thriving and doing well. Because we just don't care about the baby. We care about your health also. We want to have a balanced diet. And I know this can be a little challenging because the cravings attack you all times of the day. You want the ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. You want the salty, salty, salty. But everything has to be in moderation. So like myself, I remember that I got this craving for some oranges and I ate like 12 oranges in one day. And that is not okay. I needed to balance that with some proteins and some complex carbs and things like that. So everything in moderation, even before you get pregnant. So if you are childbearing age or thinking about having kids in the next, couple of years, we encourage you to go ahead and start taking 400 micrograms of folic acid. Now, we prefer that you get, folic is the synthetic version, but we do prefer that you get the natural version, which is folate. All right. So that can be found in your green leafy vegetables, that can be found in your grains, beans, and things like that. Things that you should refrain from. So we hear about all these things. You can't eat that when you're pregnant. You can't drink that. Well, primary goal when eating and nutrition and pregnant is hydrate and nourish. Okay. So we want you to refrain from undercooked or raw foods. We also want you to refrain from alcohol. I know we're in Louisiana. Okay. And we don't know how much or how little will progress into fetal alcohol syndrome for our babies. So we ask that you refrain from alcohol. What questions do you have for your provider? Now, remember, and as I tell all of my clients, this is a partnership. They are the expert on the pregnant body, but you are the expert on your body, okay? So we go in there and we have a partnership. Always feel free to bring questions to your provider. Bring your little list of things that you want to talk about. Maybe you have 3 or 4 questions each visit that you want to discuss. And things that you will probably discuss are your hospital procedures, especially during this time of COVID. I think we were all confused in March about what happens to pregnant folks and when do they go to the hospital and how are they giving birth and how can they still be supported? So these are all questions you should ask your provider. Hey, what are the hospital COVID policies? Am I supposed to come into your office for every single visit, or are some of my visits via telehealth? So sometimes they switch back and forth where you have one visit telehealth and one visit that you go in. And then also what does support look like for a laboring parent or a pregnant folk? Can someone come with them for their visits? A lot of times we've come up with the issue of, if you have other children and you need to bring a child with you, talk to your provider, have that open line of communication, because we definitely don't want you not to get care. So with that, when do you call your provider? And here's the thing, this is what I particularly want you to be aware of. Signs and symptoms of preeclampsia. This is one of our big red flag things. If you have any of these symptoms, I do want you to contact your provider. This comes from March of Dimes. And it says, if you have a headache that doesn't go away, and you're like, oh, I've been dealing with this headache, maybe I'm stressed, maybe pause, call your provider. Changes in vision like blurriness, flashing spots, flashing lights, seeing spots, or being really sensitive to light, like you just can't take it. Call your doctor. Pain in your upper right belly area or in your shoulder, call your doctor. Anytime you have trouble breathing, whether you're pregnant or not, you need to be calling your doctor. or calling 911. Nausea, feeling sick or vomiting, or dizziness, especially if you have extreme cases of that sudden weight gain. So you 2 to 5 pounds in a week. And what we're attributing that to is extra fluid, all right, in your body. Swelling in your legs, hands, or face can all be attributed to preeclampsia. And when I talk about preeclampsia, I should probably tell you, this is elevated blood pressures, in addition to things that are happening with your kidneys as well. These are things that we need to say, pause, I need to go get this checked out. This is not something I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna drink me some water, I'm gonna, get it checked out tomorrow, I'll call them in the morning. No, no fam. We're going in and we're getting it checked out.
Unmuting myself again. So we're going to jump into talking about comfort measures, informed consent, and the birth plan surrounding the labor process. Comfort measures are a way to utilize your support system, whether it be your doula, partner, or family member. This is where birthing person is centered through honoring their body as they navigate the discomforts and fears that may arise during birth. Some ways to offer comfort measures include back massage, foot massage, applying pressure to targeted areas of the body, warm and cold compresses, swaying your hips from side to side. Contrary to popular belief, comfort measures don't always have to include physical touch. Using visualization techniques, offering positive affirmations, or simply being present can often be exactly what a person needs. When offering any type of support as a doula, the first thing we want to be sure to lead with, or any type of provider, is consent. Our clients experience their birth experiences with varying levels of trauma and relationships to their bodies and pregnancies. While touch can be extremely helpful in alleviating pain related to contractions, the most important thing is to make sure your client is comfortable with touch in general, and reinforce that at any point, if they become uncomfortable with touch, they reserve the right to change their minds without penalty. A good provider will let their client know that they will not touch them until they say they are ready, and ask for permission at several points along the way. Simple language such as, "Are you comfortable with touch?" to assist with pain management during labor, or just say stop if you ever become uncomfortable. "I won't be offended" can go a long way. The process of informed consent is letting people know that they're the experts of their experience. We all need that reassurance. And cultivating a team around your wishes is imperative. Oftentimes we encounter clients who feel as though decisions regarding their care are happening to them rather than with them. This is unacceptable. We often encourage our clients to use the phrase, "Can I have a few minutes?" And this allows a couple things to take place. Actually, time to weigh your options, taking the stress off of making serious decisions in a haste, and time to think about additional questions to clarify fuzziness. There's an acronym that we like to use called BRAIN to make informed choices. BRAIN represents benefits, risks, alternatives, intuition, and nothing. So the benefits, are you thinking about what are the benefits of making this decision? What are the risks involved? Are there any alternatives? What does my gut say to do? What if we do nothing or wait it out? If after using this process, your decision differs from one that has been recommended, you may feel empowered to use what's called informed consent. This is basically a formal process to say that I'm choosing a decision for myself and my body that I believe is best against possibly a prior recommendation. And using these tools can be helpful to not only birthing people, but oftentimes it can be intimidating entering medical spaces that may feel intimidating to us, or we may not feel we have the most knowledge, but we are the experts of our bodies. So always know that we're walking into the room with that. Surrounding birth, birth plans can be really helpful. Using a birth plan to outline your wishes and things that are important to you can be a helpful tool to navigate conversations with your provider, ensuring that you're aligned or on the same page. For example, if you wish to have a vaginal birth after cesarean, that should be in your birth plan. Reviewing this with your provider will let you know if the two of you are compatible. to continue your relationship. If your provider is not skilled in this area or is uncomfortable with the process, you will know that it may not be the best person for you to work with in your birth plan, and sharing that with your provider and reviewing that together can help you. Once again, these principles may be applied to medical care in general outside of birth.
All right. So we went through the pregnancy, you've given birth. So now what happens? You think everything is gravy and you're just going to have a baby that sleeps through the night. All right. And that's not necessarily the case. I like to tell folks, we have a plan for baby. We tend to have a plan for our pregnancy. We have a plan for our birth, but do you have a plan for your postpartum self? Okay. Do you have a plan for your postpartum self? Because you were pregnant for 9, kind of 10 months. And, your labor can last for, a few hours to maybe a couple of days, but postpartum lasts forever, boo. You're going to be postpartum forever. So you need to have a plan that accommodates your body, that this new body that you're going to have forever. I like to tell folks, you're never going to get that body back. Your pre-pregnancy body is never coming back, because the way your body shifts, it changes. Now you can make it better than what it was before, but it can never be that exact same body. So we need to learn how to groove with this body, get the support that you need, the mental and physical support that you need. Who's about to walk that dog? Who's going to take these kids to school? Who's going to wash these dishes and these clothes? Those are things that you need to take into consideration in your postpartum care plan. Getting your whole team, I need help together to create your postpartum care plan. Now, mental support, I say adding that into your postpartum care plan, having someone available that you can talk things through. The baby blues, we hear a lot about that. That tends to be like the first 2 weeks of having your baby. It occurs in about 50 to 75% of new mothers after giving birth. That can include the crying, the feeling of overwhelm. You can be, a little moody, cranky, difficulty eating, difficulty sleeping. That's all you having a new baby, right? Now, if these things progress past the 2 weeks and you have feelings of loneliness, insomnia where you cannot sleep, loss of appetite, crying, difficulty bonding with your baby, this could possibly be postpartum depression. And that happens at about 15% of folks that have just given birth. Okay. So what I want you to do, the treatment for postpartum depression, the first steps in treatment is acknowledging that, hey, I need help, but then also maybe saying, you know what, you need to speak to someone. And it can be as simple as that step of calling someone who's like, you know what, I don't feel right. I don't feel like my normal self. Or actually having it, if you were in therapy before, don't pause therapy and say, oh, I'm going through I'm just had a baby, I'll catch you in a few. Nope. No, ma'am. You need to contact your therapist, and that needs to be on your list, but maybe your first or second week after having your baby, so we can go ahead and get through some of the things that you may be feeling, okay? Now, postpartum preeclampsia warning signs. Now you may say, well, Nurse Nikki, we just talked about preeclampsia. Yes, we did. And folks think that, oh, you have a baby and that cures preeclampsia. It does not. Giving birth does not cure preeclampsia. It does not lower your blood pressure. It's not a guaranteed thing. Some folks, so here are the folks that can have preeclampsia. So maybe you had high blood pressure issues prior to your pregnancy and you became pregnant, you still had these blood pressure issues, and you had to get induced or whatever. And so you may have postpartum blood pressure issues. Maybe you develop you develop issues with your blood pressure right before you had your baby. And that's the reason why you had your baby at 37, 38 weeks. You went into an appointment, they're like, "Ooh, your blood pressure is high. We need to do something about this right now." And so you gave birth to your baby and they're like, you have some, blood pressure issues that we need to watch out. Or maybe you're on day 3 or day 4 of your postpartum journey and you're not feeling so well. You can then have blood pressure issues. Even if you've never had a history of having blood pressure issues, you can develop them. So these are the warning signs. And I want to share this with you, but also with your family. I like to post these in my family's homes. I put it on the refrigerator. When I do my home visit, I'm like, everybody come over here. If she start doing any of these things, you need to call 911 or contact your provider. So postpartum preeclampsia is a serious disease related to blood pressure. It can happen to any woman or birthing person who has just had a baby up to 6 weeks after the baby is born. So risks to you are seizures, stroke, organ damage, and unfortunately it is fatal. So warning signs are stomach pain, all right? Don't ignore these things. Severe headaches, feeling nauseous or throwing up, seeing spots, again, or vision changes, swelling of the face and the hands and of the feet, and shortness of breath. Any of these things, I want you to call your doctor, or if you're like, you know what, this is beyond that, or if you're a family member, you're like, nope, I'm calling 911. Trust your gut, okay? I recently had a family and she's like, I thought I was having blurry vision because I'm so tired and my baby's been keeping me up. I thought that my head was hurting because, I'm just overwhelmed. These were all signs that her blood pressure was actually really high. So we were able to get her the care that she needed. Post these signs, share them with your family.
So now we're going to dig in a little bit and talk about breastfeeding, bottle feeding, and starting solids. So bottle feeding is just simply used to distribute pump milk or formula to infants and small children. It's a great way to engage primary and non-primary caretakers in the feeding process and may be used interchangeably with breast and or chest feeding. Many parents who choose to bottle feed exclusively wonder if they're able to benefit from the bonding experience that a breastfeeding parent would. The answer is yes. Bottle feeding parents can also benefit from bonding with the baby through being intentional about feeding time and using practices such as skin to skin, talking or singing to the baby while feeding in a low light area in a peaceful environment. A few things for bottle feeding parents to be mindful of is sterilizing bottles after usage, paced feeding, which means slow feeding with breaks in between to support baby's digestive system, and also following guidelines of water to formula ratio if formula feeding. There's some babies who never take a bottle effectively. Speaking from experience here. Things such as tiny cups, syringes, and lots of patience may be helpful to get milk to baby in this instance. Surrounding breastfeeding, I'm often asked two things. One, what are the keys to successful breastfeeding and how will I know my baby is getting enough milk? My response to the first question is support is the most important thing, along with patience, to a successful breastfeeding experience. Some of us are the first of many generations in our families to breastfeed. We may not have examples of what a good nursing relationship looks like or a nursing relationship at all. And we may also have heard some scary things about breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is a relationship between you and your baby in your breast, and you in your breast. It takes time. For parents who plan to breast or chest feed, don't say I'll try, say I will. Plan for a successful experience rather than failure. Think about what you'll do when things get hard. Who will give you a break? Where your baby will sleep? If it's comfortable for you, don't have bottles or formula in the house, just in case you need them. Some other things that contribute to a successful breastfeeding experience or chest feeding experience are skin to skin, lots and lots of it, breast massage, drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, eating comforting foods, continuing prenatal vitamins, avoiding comparison to other babies and parents. That may be number one. Accept and ask for help. Take moments to rest your mind and your eyes, ask questions, be patient with yourself, and realize this takes time. To know how your baby is getting enough milk can be really nerve-wracking for a lot of parents. Next slide, please. So the newborn stomach size is very small. On day one, your baby's stomach is only about the size of a cherry, so they need a very small amount of milk. As we can see here, unfortunately, when you're breastfeeding, you don't know exactly how much milk your baby's getting. So what you're going to use to measure that is baby's pees and poops is what you're going to use to measure the amount of milk that not the amount of milk that they're getting, but if they're getting enough milk. When babies are urinating, it's letting you know that one, that they're hydrated. And then when they're releasing, it's letting you know that they are getting something. So on day 1, we're going to be looking for 1 poop, day 2, 2 poops, day 3, 3 poops, and so on and so forth. So those are some ways that we can rest assured that our baby is getting something and put our nerves at rest somewhat. As our babies move forward to starting solids, the recommendation for starting solids is typically 6 months. It's when your baby is sitting up, showing signs that they are ready. Every baby does not start at 6 months. Some start a little bit before. You want to talk to your healthcare provider to see what's best for you. Talk to your healthcare provider, meaning not necessarily to have them to tell you exactly when your baby is ready, because all babies are different. So you're going to use signs such as, is your baby grabbing for food out of your hand? Are they able to sit up on their own? Because we want them to be able to digest their food safely. Starting with foods that are easily digestible, and really making the decision about what's best for you and your baby. You always, always, always want to supervise your baby. So many people have different philosophies on what they choose to give their baby. And I think that's a decision that you are going to have to make for yourself and your family, with the guidance of experts, of course, but always supervising. So some people may choose to give their babies purees. Some people may choose to use baby-led weaning methods, which allows babies to feed themselves in safe portions, being mindful of foods that are choking hazards, and also seeking out and having everyone that's coming into contact with the baby getting trained in infant CPR is something that can put you at rest so that you would know what to do in the case of an emergency. Also prioritizing time for baby to eat, eating with family, putting them in their high chair, and allowing that to be a time where your baby is seeing how you're eating and they're able to participate in that process as well. So eating can be a really exciting time for parents and families in a way that the entire family can bond with babies. Really exciting and messy time. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of your time. I'm going to introduce Birthmark Doula Collective a little bit. Some of you may know about the services that we offer. We offer birth and postpartum services. Birthmark Doula Collective offers birth doula support. We are excited to be able to offer a one-to-one program, which means that we are actually able to provide free birth doula support for anyone who needs it. Through our one-to-one program, we're able to utilize money that has been donated, and from donors, and also from people who pay full price for our births, and we're committed to serving a person who is unable to afford it. So we do our best not to turn anyone away if possible. We also offer postpartum doula service, which means that after a person has given birth and they're trying to figure out what their needs are, and may just need someone to talk to, someone to process their birth experience with, and need to know what resources they need to move forward, maybe surrounding lactation, maybe surrounding family. You may have in-laws in the house that you're trying to get out. We do not physically remove people, but we can give you some tips on how to navigate that. And we can share some numbers for you. So that's something that we help with. We also have a virtual drop-in clinic. Please follow us on social media. We are Birthmark Doulas on Facebook and Instagram. We are most active on Instagram, and you'll be able to see the links also at our website, birthmarkdoulas.com, to our virtual feeding clinic, which happens every day, Monday through Friday, where you're able to drop in if anyone has any questions surrounding nursing, lactation, or parenting in general. And Birthmark has also merged with New Orleans Breastfeeding Center recently, which Nikki is going to introduce, where you can also take advantage of in-person and virtual lactation visits. So like I said, and like Nikki said, the number one thing is support. You want to know that there are people that you can reach out to. Hopefully you're able to get support within your family, but we realize that a lot of people are not able to get support within their family, and they may need to have additional information or get information that their parents can't share with them. So in that case, here we are, reach out to us.
As I said earlier, Bloom Maternal Health, we provide postpartum home care and women's health urgent care, home visits and telehealth. I'm in these streets, y'all, doing doing home visits because telehealth just didn't work for some folks. So we make sure that if you need a blood pressure cuff, you get in a blood pressure cuff, and we make sure that you're healthy and well and thriving in your home space. We don't want to forget about anybody, and we really hope that we are filling the gap in the healthcare needs and decreasing some of these health disparities. Nola Breastfeeding Center was founded in 2018 by myself and Latona Giwa. They have virtual infant feeding clinics, which is what they're doing right now. And they also offer in-person lactation visits. For people in Orleans Parish, you can get your lactation visits for free, which is awesome. And they, like I said, merge with Birthmark Doula Collective. So they have that free infant feeding clinic daily. But they also have an after hours text line. So you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, I have a question. I wonder if someone can help me. Go ahead and chat. You'll find their information at Nola Breastfeeding Center on Instagram and on Facebook, and nolabreastfeedingcenter.org is their website where you can get all the information per infant feeding and resources in our area. Thank y'all so much for chiming in.
Thank you, ladies, for that amazing presentation. We just want to give a shout out again to Bloom Maternal Health, New Orleans Breastfeeding Center, and Birthmark Doulas. Go check out their pages, get involved in their amazing services. So without further ado, I feel like that shout out for getting community support was such a powerful message. And we have with us Shanice Holmes from Moms Who Move New Orleans, who's all about that. So would you please share with us about your program?
Yes, thank you for letting me just have this platform to just talk about my class. My name is Shanice Diante, and I'm a professional dancer, choreographer, and a personal trainer in the city. I am the creator for Moms Who Move NOLA. I created this cardio-based fitness class so that mothers can have a space to feel grounded in their bodies. I was finding myself lacking motivation, and it was like I was ignoring my body, especially during the beginning part of the pandemic. And I wanted to offer a space where mothers and their children can come and just move their bodies, bring their kids or not bring their kids, and be a part of a community, creating another community. I thought that was very valuable. And I offered classes in Crescent Park, in person, and also virtual options. So this class is really based around strengthening the core, focusing on the alignment work, basic mobility, and like injury prevention, all while grooving to the beat, because I'm all about fun, and it has to be lighthearted, it has to feel good in the body. And I've recently taken on an expansion of like how alignment work, injury work, or reconnecting to the body, and how that carries throughout the day-to-day, right? So the women before me really talked about cleaning up and washing dishes and laundry, right? So I really think about that when I'm leading people through exercises, like what can we use throughout our day-to-day so that we're efficient and we have the energy to get everything we need to do done. I've slowed up on classes right now at this moment, but I am offering virtual options, and one-on-one training is still available. And I really enjoy the one-on-one training because it allows me to focus in on those more individualized, customized concerns, because each person is individual, and right, you are your biggest advocate, and I can really hone in on you. So please follow me on Instagram at Moms Who Move NOLA or Shanice Diante. Yes, thank you for putting it up. And you'll discover the website is also available, ShaniceDiante.com. So you can go and learn about any classes that I have upcoming, or if you want to ask me a question, or if you just want to stay connected, please visit the page. And I would love to hear from you. I believe that we're stronger together. And when we pour into mothers, we pour into the community. So we have to take care of ourselves. So thank you.
I'm so sorry, I was on mute. Don't y'all love the pandemic technology? But thank you so much for sharing and for your amazing program, Moms Who Move. And so now we're gonna go ahead and hear from Edith Romero, the Health Education Program Manager at Luke's House Clinic. And she's gonna share a little bit about what to do if you happen to lose Medicaid after you give birth, and also about childhood nutrition. So take it away, Edith.
Thank you, Rachel, and thank you to Nurse Nikki and to Shanice and to Ashley, who have amazing organizations and do amazing work and have so much knowledge. Just to start, kind of where we left off, we were talking about Medicaid and how there are resources after Medicaid is over. One of those resources is universal, really LCMC system, which includes University Medical Center, Children's Hospital, and West Jeff. Particularly, Children's Hospital is where we work as a clinic to refer people after their Medicaid runs out. At these locations, they have a program called Free Care or Financial Assistance. And really anybody can apply to it, but particularly people who don't have insurance and don't qualify for government insurance. And you have to provide certain documents to apply, which we'll talk about in the later slide. But also there's the clinic where I work at, Luke's House Clinic. As I said, we're a free clinic. We believe healthcare is a right, and our mission really is to connect people to long-term care. So we're not really doing primary care. We're trying to do that connection in patient navigation and health education, so that people have their PCP, their primary care provider, or if they need a specialist, we try to connect them. As I said, all our staff are Spanish-speaking and English-speaking. And we try to do that one-on-one care as well to make sure that everybody, all the community members are getting the resources that they need. We also have federally qualified health centers in the city, or clinics that do sliding scale. So they charge based on your income. You do need to get those pay stubs or an employer letter to verify that. But with that, they can charge you depending on your income. And as I said, for these programs, we usually need the same documents that you need for Medicaid. So a government ID, which can be a passport from another country as well. It can be the national ID from another country as well. We also need a proof of address. Usually if you do have a license from here, from Louisiana, that counts as proof of address. But if not, you do need an energy bill, water and sewage bill. I know at UMC, sometimes they accept internet or Cox bills, and it has to be recent. Usually they want this month's or the last month's bill. As I said, proof of income is required as well. It could be pay stubs from the last month, and or a letter of your employer saying where you work, what you do, how much you earn, or a bank statement. You also need the IDs or birth certificates of your children and family if you wanna include them in your application as people that you're supporting as well. And some nutrition quick tips, and I wanna clarify that usually I don't work with toddlers or children at all. That's why I would refer to Nurse Nikki or the wonderful people who work at Nola Breastfeeding Center and all that. But some quick things to talk about. Breastfeeding, they already talked about it. It has so many benefits for the child as well as the mom. Studies have seen that it reduces the risk of different like type 1 diabetes for children, or asthma for children, or obesity. And for moms, it reduces the risk of breast cancer as well. Some important things to remember is that babies and children really need a lot of vitamin D and iron. Sometimes you have to give them supplements for these. Some good things to keep in mind as well is signs that your baby is hungry, like puckering their lips or looking for your breast. There's also signs that the baby is full. It's really useful and helpful to have routines for mealtime. So have them at certain times. Once the baby can eat more solid foods, and they can have they can sustain their head as well. That's really helpful. And just a general nutrition tip that I talk about every time I have health education with anybody is avoid sugar, especially for children. Sugar has been seen to be as dangerous as cigarettes. And a lot of different diseases are linked to sugar. So the less sugar, the better. And of course, always eat your veggies. I always show a graphic of how your plate should look, and it should look, every time you have a meal, half of it veggies, which I know is hard sometimes. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edith. And I just want to give a shout out that she regularly has Facebook Live videos on Luke's House Clinic's page sharing about nutrition. So we're so excited that you've been able to join us on this call. And just another shout out, we're having this exact same call next week, Wednesday, in Spanish on these same pages. So we hope you can join us for that. And please do, if you have comments or questions, put them in the chat on this video, because we'll be responding to them soon. So I'm very excited to present our next guest, Ms. Colleen Salinas from the YMCA car seat program. And just give me 1 second so I can switch over the screen. Here we go. All right, Colleen, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much, Rachel. I am so happy to be here. My name is Colleen Salinas. I am the director of the Car Seat Safety Program. And the Car Seat Safety Program is one of many programs that the YMCA offers to the community. And the purpose of the program is to educate the community on the importance of properly installing a car seat and actually using a car seat when they have young passengers. Through the program, we are working to protect the lives of our children. Every year, many children are killed or injured in crashes. This is because 3 out of 4 car seats are installed incorrectly. So we offer car seat safety classes. We provide hands-on training and practical education to underserved families. We have a limited number of car seats that we give away to those families that cannot afford one. So this education is vital. Many of the families that we serve are unfamiliar with child safety harness laws upon arrival to the United States. During the pandemic, and in partnership with the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, the Louisiana Passenger Safety Task Force, and other organizations, we made a video in Spanish and in Vietnamese. So on these videos, we provide some tips. So to the safety tips to the families. In 2019, the Louisiana child passenger safety law changed. So for instance, a child age 1 or younger was required to sit in a rear facing seat. So now the age has been raised to age 2. It is very important for our community to be aware of these recommendations, so we do our best to provide them the information. Also, it's very important to communicate that there are feeding stations where parents can go to check the car seats. So sometimes the parents have the car seat, but they don't know how to install the seat. So this service is provided by the Louisiana Passenger Safety Task Force and is free. So one of the feeding stations is located at the State Police. So every Wednesday from 1 to 4, the families can come and get the car seats checked. So, like I said, this is a free service. Child passenger safety technicians are available to assist with installations. So, regarding our car seat safety classes, we do not have a calendar, but we ask the parents to please call us so we can or call us so we can talk to them about that and then register for the class. So, and also, as I mentioned, the YMCA has other programs. So I want to share with you about the YES program. So the program is for adults, students, and that are interested in improve the reading, the writing, and math skills. So we also have, very soon we are gonna have the swim lessons, and the YMCA offer scholarships. So we ask the community to please check our website for details. So when summer approaches. So I'm so happy to be here, and we ask the community to please call us and reach out to us so we can help them, and if they are in need of a car seat, we can help them, but we ask them to call us. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that wonderful information, Ms. Colleen Salinas. You guys can see here on the page where you can call her to get information about the free car seat program. It's a great class, like she said, where they teach you how to install it. So please take advantage. Well, y'all, that is it for our presentation. We are so honored to have spent the night with these amazing women, all advocating for women's health and children's health in our community in such powerful ways. I just wanted to give a few moments for questions. I don't know if anyone on Facebook Live has any questions. We really encourage y'all, if you do, post them in the comments and we'll respond to them. If not now, we'll definitely follow up with you following the call. Did anyone from the call have any questions from their page that they wanted to share? All right, well, I think with that, y'all, we just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who has come together to share on this call. Crescent City Family Services, Bloom Maternal Health, Birthmark Doulas, New Orleans Breastfeeding Center, Moms Who Move, Luke's House Clinic. I'm with Unete Healthcare and the YMCA. We're honored to have you on this call with us tonight, sharing this powerful information. Did anyone have any comments or other questions in closing?
just thank you, Rachel, for organizing this.
Yes, thank you. We really appreciate it. It's a great resource for families.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you so much. We look forward to seeing everybody, and this is great.
Absolutely. Thank everyone. And please, if you're watching us on Facebook, please share this video, get this great information out, follow up with these incredible organizations on your own. Go check out their Facebook page, tell your friends about it. These resources are here for you in the community. And we hope that y'all can share this event. Also, we'll be here right back, same time, same place, 6 p.m. next Wednesday in Espanol, in Spanish. So we hope to see y'all there. Thank you so much. Everyone stay safe. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.